smiling and he's feeling good. He might not know why, but it's because he's reinforcing that emotional stimulus that's now been installed in his subconscious hard drive. Okay? And then I wake him out of hypnosis, wake him up fully out of hypnosis. And then a lot of times when I work with these clients, I tell them, go ahead and test it. Doesn't matter what I say or do. Just go out there and see what happens. Because they're the biggest judge. Oh, he says this is going to happen. He says that's going to happen. And then they go, well, it didn't happen the way he said. I go, I know this therapy is going to work. Like this woman on Beyond who had a fear of heights, couldn't climb 2 steps off a ladder. She said to me, I tried the mind over matter and the conscious and the subconscious. Tom, it's never worked for me. Someone says that to you. To most hypnotherapists, they're going to be afraid of failing with this lady. I said, it doesn't matter what you're saying. When I'm through with you, you're going to go up that Coit Tower, 300 foot high up there, and you're going to be able to walk out on that balcony. It doesn't matter that you've tried these things. It doesn't matter. What matters is the results. The results are, did it work or did it not work? If it didn't work, maybe they need to come back and we need to work on it again and get more depth and do it again. But I like people to be the judge of it. So with that lady with the heights, she winds up climbing up. Instead of the first step of the ladder, she climbs to the top of the ladder. Unbelievable. Then she goes into the building and goes up this Coit Tower, and she's standing over this balcony. This lady had a phobic anxiety of heights for 25, 30 years in her whole life. She tried every single other method, including anxiety medicine, and it didn't work for her. So she tested it. Then she went home, and on flying home from San Francisco to L.A., she decided she was going to sit at the window view and look out the window. There's a lady with a fear of heights. She wanted to test herself. She sat down at the window, looked out the window. It was gone. She went back on the show weeks later, and it was gone. I did put it up on YouTube the other year, and it hadn't been seen in 4 or 5 years. She sends me an email. Tom, I'm the lady you hypnotized with a fear of heights. It's still gone. Isn't that cool? I did the Montel Williams show, and a cameraman comes up to me and says, I have a fear of heights. I'm the cameraman. I can't even go up 10 stories, and they want me to go on scaffolds and all this other stuff, and I can't do it. And I'm the cameraman for Montel. I said, well, before the show, let me do some emotion replacement therapy. Let's just see what happens. I said, well, let's just test it. The worst thing that can happen is it didn't work. The best thing is it worked. I'm completely honest and open. Half hour later, after doing these physical inductions within 5-10 minutes and then doing my emotion replacement therapy to give him the freedom to go up in the heights, after the show he comes up to me with a photograph of him looking out the Empire State Building. Again, I got an email years later that his whole life has changed because that emotion is gone. That's a great gift we can give people in those low frequency states. Okay, so what we want to do is, because we're going to run out of time soon, is I want to practice the emotion replacement therapy. Does anyone want to try it right now a little bit? Cynthia, you mentioned you had something, and you did too. We're going to do some therapy in the class. You want to come on up for a moment? Now again, my typical hypnotherapy session is an hour session. People come in. I want to build up trust and rapport. I want to get them excited about their lives changing. I want to get them to be excited about it. I don't walk in like I'm just some bored, bummed out guy, okay, just sit in the chair, an emotionalist, like I'm some computer robot zombie. I want to get them excited about changing, and I want them to be convinced that scientifically I know what hypnosis is and that they're able to achieve those results. Okay, just have a seat, just right there. Okay, now you mentioned there was something that you kind of wanted. Let me put this little microphone on here, and we're just going to kind of tune you up a little bit. Okay, so can you hold the mic kind of close to you? And just tell the committee, the group, because we're just here to learn these techniques. Tell the group what it is, what obstacle it is that you think's holding you back right now.
The obstacle holding me back is self-doubt. It's a self-worth issue, not feeling like I do whatever I do that's good enough and that I should be better, and I put myself, I have very high expectations for myself, and if I don't live up to it, then I feel like I failed, a big failure kind of thing. I've done several businesses, and I haven't been successful at any of them.
Okay, so you sometimes beat yourself up.
Yes.
And something goes wrong, and all of a sudden you start giving yourself these kind of negative messages.
Yes.
And do you think that's holding you back in your hypnotherapy practice?
I know it is, yes.
Do you think it's sometimes preventing you from even hypnotizing people if you don't get the result you want from them?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it sounds like there's a little bit of an emotional kind of limitation in your life, a limited life script, a little bit of a mental handicap.
Right.
How do you want to feel instead of, kind of putting yourself down or beating yourself up or demanding perfection that sometimes you don't achieve? How do you want to feel instead of that?
Well, I want to feel totally confident in knowing that I can do what I set out to do, and knowing that if for some reason it doesn't do as well as I want it, it's okay, and that I can get better, or it's not me, or something. It's an obstacle to work through rather than a block that I just give up.
Okay.
I want to be able to go further with it.
So being more confident,
Yes.
being more motivated, not taking things so strongly if it doesn't work to your expectations,
Right.
but kind of being able to have a continued path of just doing more and being more successful
And
and
maybe
learning from your
And
experiences.
maybe even take it as a challenge. Okay, well, this didn't work this way. Let's try, a different direction.
Okay, so take it as a challenge versus a defeat.
Right,
Okay, so look at it as an opportunity versus a problem or an obstacle.
right.
Okay, all righty.
Part of this is all tied into it's when I work with people, and I'm afraid that they're going to think that I've failed also, and they will lose confidence in me, and that makes me feel like I've failed also. So,
Okay, so you're kind of also worried about what other people think about you,
Right.
which can affect your focus and concentration and
Absolutely.
belief. Because if you think that they think that you're not doing it right or succeeding, or that you're not getting them what they want, it's going to affect your confidence.
absolutely.
So
yes.
there's a limited confidence,
Yes.
and sometimes it's based on you almost like being too critical of yourself.
Yes.
Okay.